Right, I'm back again. What does Jamaica independence mean? A lot of people don't understand, especially the younger generations, the younger the younger ones who were born and raised here in Great Britain. Most of them don't know. So I'm gonna use this moment in time to sort of fill you in. I've made some notes, so I'll refer to the notes occasionally. Basically, I'm going to talk about the inhabitants, the early Jamaicans who were first on the island. They say Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica, but you can't discover something that was not lost or hidden. It wasn't hidden. He was apparently sailing around on ships and sailing around looking for something to steal, and he came across this beautiful island of Jamaica. As the history books tell us, it's the most beautiful island eyes have ever behold. It's so, in other words, Jamaica is like a gem. So I'm going to refer to my notes occasionally, like I said, and I'll just tell you about the early Jamaicans. The early Jamaicans, they were Arawak tribe, Arawak Indians. They call them the Arawak and the Caribs. They call them native people because of the fact that they used to eat each other. Cannibals, so the early Jamaicans, they used to eat flesh. You understand? The Caribbean island of Jamaica was inhabited by the Arawak tribe prior to the arrival of Columbus. So that means to say Columbus didn't discover Jamaica because the Arawak tribes and the Caribs were already there. So the early inhabitants of Jamaica basically named the island Xamaica, Xaymaca, meaning the land of wood and water, because Jamaica is surrounded by the Caribbean Sea. So we can never be out of water. So the Arawak Indians, who were they? They were just a group of indigenous people from South America and of the Caribbean. That's why they call them the Arawaks and the Caribs. So when you think about Jamaica and the first Jamaicans who ever walked that part of life, just think about the Arawak tribes, right? These were people who used to make good quality textile and pottery. But guess what? Many Jamaicans were sent to Spain as slaves. Yeah. And many were killed by the Spanish invaders. By 1665, enslaved Africans replaced them. Imagine that. Who were these enslaved Africans? These were people who came from Africa on a ship and sold as slaves to work the sugar plantation in Jamaica. These people, they engage in slave labor, and they work on the sugar plantations, cotton, cocoa, indigo, and coffee estates. So during those period in the early 17th century, Jamaica was very prosperous, exporting sugar and coffee. And they said the slave trade was abolished in 1807, but there is still cause for concern. Right. So now you understand who the early Jamaicans were? That they were the Arawak and the Taino people. They said in the 15th century they were inhabitants of Cuba, Hispaniola, and the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Okay, coke. So basically, after 146 years of Spanish rule, a large group of British sailors and soldiers landed in the Kingston Harbour. The Kingston Harbour is the seventh largest harbour in the world. So on the 10th of May 1655, during the Anglo-Spanish War, when the English was declaring war with the Spanish to thief Jamaica, the English, they had actually set their sights on Hispaniola. But because they couldn't get Hispaniola, they reverted to Jamaica, and the Spanish surrendered on the 11th of May, and that's when the English rule take over Jamaica. All right? So, like I said, Jamaica was an English colony from 1655 when it was captured by the English from Spain. In other words, they terrorized and invaded Jamaica. Yeah? So, the bottom line